S.S.S. Ekev, Tov Shem, Pei Dalet. Amazing opportunity. Some of you may not recognize this room, but we're actually in the front room of the Marat HaMachpelah in Chevron, and it's a tremendous opportunity to be able to give the shir, the Nesivos Shalom shir, from here. And this week, as we all know, we continue through the weeks that we call the Shiva Denachemta. We're going through the 7 weeks of consolation from Tisha B'Av all the way up straight until Rosh Hashanah, the weeks between Tisha B'Av and Rosh Hashanah where we read the Haftarahs of consolation. And each and every week, it's not just that we read a Haftarah of consolation. Each and every week, we build on the consolation. The consolation becomes greater and bigger and more strong and gives us, every single week, we add to the Nechama and the Chizuk of the previous week. And we have the special opportunity, as we mentioned this week, to say the shir from the holy city of Chevron, where we came to visit our great-grandparents, the ancestors, are all buried, they're buried here in Chevron. And if you look in the Haftarah of this week, you may not know this, but if you follow along and you stay awake through the Haftarah in Shul, you'll see that the Haftarah actually mentions and speaks about Avraham Avinu and Sara Imenu. This week, before the Haftarah goes into Kinicham Hashem Tzion, the Nechama of Yerushalayim, we mentioned that we're taking chizuk for our nechama as a nation from Avraham Avinu and Sarah Imenu. We're not going to get into that now, but have a look in the Haftarah and you'll see it's amazing that the nechama this week is based partly off Avraham Avinu and Sarah Imenu. And the fact that we're able to be here at the source of it all is a very, very special opportunity. And nothing is by coincidence, and we don't take it for granted that we have the opportunity to be here. And Nesivos Shalom brings from the Beis Avraham, Zechus Yagan Aleinu, and he says a beautiful thought at the beginning of this week's parsha. We say at the beginning of the parsha, V'haya Ekev Tishma'un, and we know that V'haya, the word V'haya, is a lashon of simcha, right? Many times we talk about Vayehi being a lashon that is not simcha. V'haya is a lashon of simcha. And the parsha begins, V'haya Ekev Tishma'un. What is the big simcha? What is the simcha that we're speaking about? So Nesivos Shalom says from the Beis Avraham something very, very beautiful. V'haya Ekev. If a person, if you are besimcha, if a person is v'haya, if a person is besimcha, even when you feel like you're on the bottom and you're being stepped on and times are tough and it's hard, but v'haya ekev, if you are besimcha, even when it seems like you're being down and you're being stepped on in the quote game of life, and you're still besimcha, v'haya ekev tishma'un, and even though you feel like you might be at the bottom, ekev, you're feeling like you're the heel, you're on the bottom, but v'haya, you still have the lashon, you're still acting besimcha, you still tishma'un, you're still listening to Hashem, you're still understanding that everything that comes your way comes from Hashem, and therefore you're still besimcha, then that will remain with you. Then the Torah tells you all the brachas that'll help you grow. Then you are zoiche to all the brachas throughout the whole parsha, especially when we get to the end of the parsha of V'hoya im Shemoya. The koyach hasimcha is so powerful that we're able to build on that. If you are besimcha when in times of your life, it could be that normally you wouldn't feel that you should be so besimcha, but when you're on the bottom, you're still besimcha. You could build on to the point where you get through through the whole parsha to U'avdoi b'chol avavachem u'b'chol nafshechem. The highest madrigas where you're able to be, to serve Hashem with your entire heart and your entire nefesh. When you're an Oved Hashem on the highest madriga. This one more thing from the Nesivos Shalom. Nesivos Shalom brings down another beautiful thought from the Sefer HaKadosh, the Er Mayim Chaim. In the name, he brings it down, the name of Reb Michal Mizlachev. I don't have Rabbi Grol with me this week to give me the whole history of where he fits in the picture of Michal Mizlachev, but as soon as Rabbi Grol watches this, I'm sure I'll get the whole history and how it fits in here. He says like this. He says, sometimes we forget, when we do mitzvahs, sometimes we forget a very, very important thing. A very, very important part of doing mitzvahs. And if you think about it, it is so, so true. We do a mitzvah, says Reb Michal Mizlachev, we forget that we have to have the plain and simple kavanah. Why are we doing a mitzvah? We're doing a mitzvah for one reason. Because Hashem said to do it. I'm doing this mitzvah because Hashem wants me to do it. Because I want to do the will of Hashem. Not for schar, not for any reward, not for any other good feeling that comes along with doing a mitzvah. I'm doing the mitzvah because Hashem wants me to. And sometimes, Nesivos Shalom says, we get so busy with the kavanas of the mitzvahs and the yichudim and all the hidurim and all the things that we come, all the going to the mitzvah before the mitzvah, we forget what the mitzvah is all about. The mitzvah, the most important reason we do a mitzvah is because Hashem wants us to do it. So the Torah tells us, V'haya ekev tishma'oy. When you're going to listen and do the mitzvahs, Ushmartem v'asisem oisam. Ushmartem is a lashon of just doing it for the simple reason to keep the mitzvah. Strip away everything else. Take away everything else. I'm doing the mitzvah for one reason, because it is a mitzvah. Not for any other surrounding reason or benefit. And that is called Ushmartem. I do it one reason. I keep it because Hashem wants me to. I keep it in the most wholesome, in the whole way, just because it's a mitzvah and I'm doing it just for Hashem. And if we do the mitzvahs that way, then the Torah tells us, if you do it because Hashem wants you to, then you're zoiche to all the brachas, like we said in the parsha, up to the end of the parsha, where to this land, city of Chevron, city of Yerushalayim. How are we zoiche? By just plain and pashut being a yid that says, I'm doing a mitzvah because Hashem wants me to. And if we do that, then we're zoiche to the ultimate brachas. That's how we keep Eretz Yisrael. But Hashem is watching over this city. Hashem is watching over the entire land of Eretz Yisrael. The Reishis Hashana v'Yad Rishona. Special Siyata B'Shmaya. In Chutz La'aretz, it's Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Hashanah. In Eretz Yisrael, Hashem every single day is looking after. That's why these Nisim, these miracles. We live with miracles here in Eretz Yisrael because Hashem is every day saying, what do we need? What do my people, what do my children, the ones who are keeping the mitzvah, they're doing it just because I want them to. And they're doing it in Hashem's backyard. They're doing it in my home. They're doing it in my place. Then we're zeichet to all the brachas every single day throughout the year. Let's try to keep that in mind, even those of us who live in the Chutz La'aretz, people that live far away, to remember where our mind and heart are supposed to be. V'haya ekev tishmon. V'haya, we should be happy ekev, even when times are down, and sometimes now, with the current events, with things that are going on, we have every reason to feel that we're a little bit down. Hashem says, V'haya, you're b'simcha ekev. When you're feeling on the bottom, tishmon, and you're still listening to me, then all the brachas, we should all come back here together. We should be zoicha together to live in Eretz Yisrael and to receive all the brachas from Hashem.